a few short minutes is spawning in the top right corner. That's the pink Terran player representing Carnage Esports. We have Jimmeh, who is going to be playing up against an Irish Protoss player from team My Insanity, winning game number 1 there. After initial harassment and a very sweet 3-base timing to follow it up that basically shut the door on everything, is he going to be just as clinical in game number 2? We have ABomb.
Now, I do actually just want to put a little bit of balance in this, right?
Yeah.
ABomb, in game
I thought you were going to talk
1...
about Flying Colossi again for a second. I was like,
no.
more balance.
No, I'm over that.
Okay.
Not serious balance discussion. I'm talking about balance of game number 1 and how that actually went. Because if you looked at it, if you came in, you'd be like, wow, ABomb stomped Jimmeh like crazy hard. But that wasn't
at the end,
story.
sure.
At the end, Jimmeh early on put on a lot of aggression to ABomb. And I'm going to say it, ABomb was pretty lucky with a Warp Prism drop into the natural base that killed pretty much all of Jimmeh's SCVs, which basically meant that he had not a free win, but have to do something pretty critically bad in order not to win that game.
Yeah, that was really the turning point in the game, like you absolutely say there, Maddles, where really that drop was timed to perfection from ABomb because of that aggression coming out from Jimmeh. And the defense from ABomb was great, but Jimmeh basically didn't defend well enough at the natural. And, ooh, SCV coming out. I think this is just going to be for a scout.
I'm looking very carefully because there is a gas taken. So it could just be for a scout, but
Thor Rush, want to Thor Rush.
Hey, we've had a Thor Rush.
You're wishing
at
so
the Plantronics Cup about 2 weeks ago, we had a Thor Rush from Moomin, I believe.
That's true. Did it win the game?
I think it did.
I want to watch that.
I'm just saying, Thor Rushes are pretty cool. This SCV is keeping a good eye out, though, trying to check every inch of ABomb's base, being like, is there anything unexpected happening before you've got your cybernetics core down? And the answer is no, there isn't. Everything looking okay.
Now, interestingly, we don't always get SCV scouts when we have Reapers involved, so there's not really going to be
this Reaper scouting round as well.
Yeah, I really like that, trying to make sure there aren't any forward pylons out on the field. But what that means is that some Protosses, I think more rarely now than they used to, skip the initial Zealot for a Stalker, especially if they feel a Reaper is on its way. And because ABomb saw that SCV scout, there wasn't really a reason for him to skip that. So the first Zealot is out on the field now, and he may want to make sure that doesn't get caught out anywhere.
No, there isn't. He cancelled it.
Yeah. Did he?
Yep, he cancelled the setup.
Did he? Oh, okay, excellent. Did he cancel it as the SCV moved away from the base? Sorry, I was on your vision. So,
Yeah, no, he cancelled it pretty damn quick. Basically, he got it out just in case it was a Proxy 11-2 racks.
Has he seen... Okay, cool. Has he actually seen the base? No, so he hasn't seen the gas being taken. So presumably, this is just... oh, yeah, typically people Reaper expand. Better get this going there. So great. Very well played there from ABomb. With the SCV in there as well, it really gave him fewer reasons to cancel that Zealot, because it looked less and less likely to be a Reaper opening. But I do like... I am a big fan of the Stalker with the Mothership Core.
Twilight Council coming down. Are we going to go for Blink or DTs? What is your money on?
Given the location of the Twilight Council, DTs.
Yep, I completely agree with you. Back here, the Dark Shrine could just slip in its way down inside there, and it'd be none the wiser. But the Reaper does have to get pushed back, though, because if a Dark Shrine gets scouted, it's pretty ineffective.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying if and when it does get scouted. And then, no, it's going to be Blink, so there we go. Despite putting the Twilight Council in a position that would make anyone suspect you're trying to hide a Dark Shrine, we are going to have a situation where Blink is being researched instead. And to be fair, on a map like Neoplanet S with absolutely so much cliff space, I don't really mind this too much.
No, it's all pretty good. The Mothership Core is going to recall back after getting a little scout out, gets a look at what's coming down, sees the barracks timing, sees the engineering bay as well. That's an important thing to scout because that's an early +1, which is indicative of either a big marine push or just a very defensive Terran. Really, you've got a very small window of opportunity. You can move out with just marines and +1 when you get it down this fast, but most of the time it tends to be staying back and being defensive. There's the missile tide coming down, being safe as well, but Blink rapidly approaching finished.
Now, ABomb has also spotted that the first barracks is going to be a reactor. Has a reactor on it at the top of the ramp. And this is important because even though he spotted the +1 attack researching, he can now go to himself, well, if you're going to attack me with a +1 timing, I know your Marines aren't going to have stim, and I know they're not going to have combat shield. So that's going to be really important. If he happened to see a tech lab and something researching, then he'd go, ooh, your +1 might be coinciding with stim. And this potential timing could actually hurt a lot more, even though it hits a little bit later and I need to be more wary of it. But as it stands, that information I think is quite valuable to ABomb.
Now, a warpin is about to come down. We're getting more stalkers getting out. Blink is just 20 in-game seconds away, minus the time it takes once chrono boosted. So this is going to be a very, very nice little timing window here. But look at the number of Marines, Joasa. There's a good lot of them. And, of course, +1 is only 10 seconds away from completion. It is going to be done in time for this push to move in. That's a lot of DPS that's going to be coming out. Will Jimmeh be able to hold?
Let's find out. The Mothership Core is going to be able to give ABomb access to the high ground, so he's going to be able to completely bypass the bunker here, which is exactly what he does. Moves straight into the main, checks what's going on. Excellent time warp at the ramp to prevent those Marines from getting in for a maximum amount of time, and as a result, SEV is being killed off in the meantime. Excellent play coming out of here, and great blink micro. Ooh! Spoke a little bit too soon. One of the stalkers going down there, but excellent amount of units killed. Mothership were just about getting away as well. 17 workers killed to 1. That was a brilliant blink stalker.
Sure, sir. This is the stat that really tells that attack. Jimmeh lost 1,175 resources to 50 of ABomb. That is all.
Yeah, that's pretty rough, and the bunker at the front is also going to get taken out as well. No SCVs there to repair quite so early. And, well, I think he needs to be a little bit careful, does ABomb here. You can't just waltz into that entire group of Marines. He's doing the right thing by blinking around and trying to target SCVs away from the rest of the Marine pack. But what he doesn't want to do is throw the army away, engaging head-on. He could probably do that cost-effectively, but there's no need to right now. Perfectly happy to wait, get some Colossi up, and just take these Marines out from afar if he can.
Now, I like the fact that Stalkers as well, just pushing forward, a nice little bit of Blink Micro coming in again, just trying to pick off as many of these Marines as possible, and then retreating back. Keeping the Stalkers alive has to be the utmost priority of ABomb at the moment. He wants to whittle down this army, keep it as low as possible. Is going to lose this pylon, though, if he doesn't make a stand here, and I think he is going to have to retreat back, because those Stalkers are very low. The pylon goes down, that aggression, the end of it is seen now by Jimmeh, but ABomb, has he done enough? He's currently sitting at 58 probes to 37 SCVs, plus he's got 1-1 coming down, but 1-1 is just about to finish for Jimmeh, who's adding on a ton more barracks, and also now has Stimpack.
I'm going to be honest with you, Maddles. When the Stalkers initially moved away from the natural expansion, I'm a little bit surprised that ABomb moved them towards his base. I thought that as soon as Jimmeh moved his infantry out of the choke at the natural, that ABomb would blink straight back into the main to try and get as much damage done with these Stalkers as possible, but he's heading back home instead, not opting to go for any additional aggression. And ooh, Photon Overcharge being used a little bit trigger happy there from ABomb. Didn't need to be doing that just yet until Jimmeh got within range. Supplies currently 100 to 84.
The first Colossus is about to pop out though for ABomb. He's got, of course, the 1-1 upgrades and extended thermal lance all on the way, but he's behind in upgrades for the moment. This is a very small group of infantry. Is the hold going to be achievable? Well, yes, probably it will be with the Colossus there. Admittedly, just a single one, but it can get sniped down quickly if allowed to. But ooh, 2 Marines and a Marauder getting dropped up into the main. Going to be able to do a little bit of damage here, and the key thing is ABomb doesn't overreact. Just a small warp in would be good, but moving over with all of these Stalkers, that leaves the front somewhat vulnerable.
The Colossus almost getting targeted down there, and it looks like because of the Zealots, Jimmeh actually has to move back. Not his ideal situation, especially since the Colossus managing to stay alive. That initial drop into the main really didn't do much. Only 3 units in that dropship, and the Stalkers were able to take care of it. But Jimmy's going to be following this up by doubling up. He's got 2 dropships worth of units coming in towards the natural expansion.
Now, down, of course, come these units. Where is the Colossus? It's right in the back. Got to be so careful that a stim forward doesn't snipe it down. It's pretty damn low. The Stalker's still sitting up in the main base. Even though the medevac's gone down, a second one is on its way back up to come in at that angle there. So ABomb is just under relentless drop pressure. But now with the second Colossus up, extended thermal lance done, and equal on upgrades, and 2-2 also on its way, going to give him a lead. I'd say ABomb is getting a little bit more comfortable, but he's got to be careful of these drops and when he moves out.
Exactly, the drops could end up doing catastrophic damage to him if he's not careful. So he definitely wants to keep an eye on those. We have another drop coming into the main base now. And this time, I think, out of view of ABomb. Oh, now he sees a couple of units. And, well, here we go. Oh, the Colossus Bay, sorry, Robotics Bay, rather, is probably going to get picked off here. A couple of Zealots being warped, but it won't be in time to save the building if it's targeted down. There we go. And Jimmeh gets out. That was a nice little poke in by our Terran player.
It was, and interestingly as well, ABomb choosing to fall back there as opposed to trying to put on a little bit of pressure, which is quite interesting considering the fact that he's ahead in supply and knows that obviously there's not going to be too many Vikings down at the moment. Only 4 of them for the time being. Oh, but a medevac does get taken out there. But these Marauders and Marines doing a good job of cleaning out a couple of Stalkers. Resources lost, currently sitting in favor of ABomb by about 1,400.
Jimmeh is very slowly getting his supply count more or less the same in this game now. I mean, he was behind quite a bit before after the initial pressure, but he's at 119 supply versus 135. He's really not behind that much anymore. And he started his Viking production as well to hopefully deal with those Colossi better at the beginning of the game.
Choo-choo.
And choo-choo indeed, Metals.
SCV train's on its way forward. This is Jimmeh saying 2 base. And can I point out, until very recently when this Nexus was taken, it was 2 base on 2 base. Jimmeh is going to try and end this now, and if he doesn't, well, guess what? He's committed a lot to it. There's a good number of SCVs here, and he's going to start pushing in. But look at the Archons. Look at the Colossi. This is pretty interesting.
Alright, so here we go. Massive engagement out in the middle of the map. A decent number of Archons here with the Protoss player. Is it going to be enough to push it back? ABomb up to 140 supply versus the 93 of Jimmeh. It looks like with these additional Zealots with charge, it is going to be enough. Jimmeh has no answer to the meat shield wall that is these Zealots, and he's going to have to pull back. ABomb now on 3 bases to Jimmeh's 2. People desperately trying all over the world to make sure that Metals isn't right when everyone says they're on 2 bases. And I think, as a result of this, ABomb is going to be able to roll through into the natural here.
Oh, there was even a Mana Mule thrown down there. And ABomb takes this series 2-0, so we'll be advancing into